So the DC Extended Universe marches onwards as acclaimed director Patty Jenkins delivers to us the ultimate female superhero in this electrifying and remarkably good feature film of Wonder Woman. Diana, Princess of the Amazons, raised on the sheltered island paradise of Themyscira, strives to train as an unconquerable warrior. Yet when American pilot Captain Steve Trevor crashes on their shores and tells of a massive conflict raging in the outside world, Diana is compelled to leave her home, convinced she can stop the threat. On her path to the battlefront, Diana learns more of the ravages of war and the hope that lies within humanity. Ultimately, fighting alongside men in a war to end all wars, Diana will discover her full powers and embrace her true destiny. So the DC Extended Universe of films consisting of Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, and Suicide Squad, it's been a bit of a mixed bag of films for me. If I gave Man of Steel a very positive review when it was first released, it's not a film that I've had a very strong affinity for or kept it in a very high regard over time. And certainly Dawn of Justice and Suicide Squad are notoriously mixed bag films with a lot of questionable, contentious elements to it that I had some things I really liked about those films, some things I really just didn't feel like worked at all. But you come to Wonder Woman here, directed by Patty Jenkins, again starring Gal Gadot as Diana, Princess of the Amazons. Wonder Woman herself consists of all the proper elements that I think have been sorely missing, the key ingredient that's not been there for all these other films, and that is a sense of humanity, heart, a sense of hope to its characters. It's not bogged down with a lot of bleakness and heaviness. There is dramatic elements definitely in the film, but the sense of heart that Patty Jenkins puts in this film, so much inspired by Richard Donner's Superman the movie from 1978 with Christopher Reeve. She brought so much of that type of inspiration and influence into the depth of this film that I so thoroughly enjoyed watching, because that gives you all the emotion you need to connect with the characters in this film, feel what they're going through, the struggles, the frustrations they have, all the things that they have to rise up and defeat and conquer and battle with, and all these types of things throughout the entire course of this movie. I really enjoyed watching this film because of that element of emotion and heart that I just felt so connected to this film that I did get fairly choked up at certain points in time, whatnot. Just felt like the film just hit a mark for me because it had such really good direction from Patty Jenkins. I just thought she handled so much of this thing with so much nuance and intricate care to the characters and everything else going on through the entire story. She took so many really nice moments throughout this entire film to allow the characters to have these beautiful moments in the film, just have these emotional connections and all these little beats and whatnot, that just the quiet moments are what create the overall emotional threads throughout the entire film to give you that sense of a humanity between all these characters that you get to attach yourself to throughout the entire course of this film. I think Patty Jenkins just did some fantastic work directing this film. And Gal Gadot, just, some people have been very kind of uncertain about how well she would be able to carry this film, be this character, bring out all the qualities that you need to lead a film like this. I was so pleased with what she was able to accomplish in this film. She did a wonderful job, and that is not a pun whatsoever. She did a really fantastic piece of work here, just again bringing out the emotion of her character of Diana, this person who goes through this film in a full arc, that she starts out as this young woman or whatnot, who was very eager to get out there and be a warrior and everything, but her mother and everything, played by Connie Nielsen, is just kind of protective of her. There's really good stuff here that she just does such a good job just following this character on an arc from innocence to eagerness to naivete to something that just pushes further and forward to understand who she is, what her place is in the world, what she stands for, all these different qualities that she just brings forth.
She has such a wonderful smile in this film. She does all the comedy of the film, all the little humorous beats between her and, say, Chris Pine or some of the other actors in the film. Is beautiful type of work in that type of way, and she just has such a heartwarming quality with so many of the moments that she gets to play throughout the entire film as a fully dimensionalized character played by an actress who really just completely rose to the occasion, with a director that just obviously took all the care in the world to make sure that they could get every little ounce of that emotion pushed out of her performance. I was just so enthralled. I was just so delighted to see this character fleshed out so well on screen. The arc you get to follow the character on throughout the entire film is really just what pulls everything together, what she has to go through and where she has to get to by the end of it to just continue to rise forward as a strong type of character, where she does show weakness and vulnerability. And just seeing all these things with the character, it's a really just wonderful type of exploration and just development of Diana in this film. I think it's fantastically done, and you get just the supporting cast in this film is absolutely fantastic. I mean, Chris Pine is on 100% pure excellence in this film. I just love the chemistry between Gal Gadot and Chris Pine. They have wonderful, warm chemistry that's just perfect between all the heartfelt stuff, the humor, they kind of banter back and forth at certain times, all the deep emotion that they kind of share in the film. Just like everything felt so natural between them, so organic, just felt just wonderful. Chris Pine is a fantastic actor, and I just like it when he gets a chance to show a range like this in a film. And in general, I just felt the supporting cast was so very well rounded, because you get really nice characters just come into the film, just add so much substance and flavor and nuance to it, and cast so very well. Just such richness in the cast of the film that adds so much to the overall enjoyment of it, that you can connect with so many different characters throughout the entire course of the movie. It's a nice thing there. And then you got, at the beginning of the film, you got Connie Nielsen as Queen Hippolyta, and you get Robin Wright as the premier warrior of Themyscira. Those two rock solid, wonderfully talented actresses, giving so much rock solid substance to this film at the forefront of it, to give Gal Gadot's character of Wonder Woman something very strong to build upon, and have all these little emotional threads start out with those characters portrayed by those wonderful talents. It gives the film so much going forward, gives it that momentum forward to just immediately just soak you into the emotion the film is really trying to inject into this character that you're following through the entire film. Just get the cast of this film together, and they did such fantastic work with a really solid screenplay. And the action of this film is really well done too, because yeah, there's a lot of sort of slow motion, speed ramping type of stuff that you see in the trailer, but the action is so well covered. It's not, there's some long takes, it's not all chopped up and whatnot. It's really nicely done, some really good images that really kind of help to soak yourself into the moment or whatnot. They use it for dramatic purposes to kind of slow the film down, to kind of soak you into the moment a little bit more, and just slam bang, big type of stuff that just hits off, that does push the characters forward and the story forward. It's not action just for action's sake. They use this stuff to build the characters and push the story forward and use it towards the themes of everything. I think all the action in the film is really nicely done. Even if you get into the third act and it feels like you kind of seen it, kind of been there before or whatnot, with the big climax and everything. But again, how you just follow through with the character arc in the film, it just keeps you tethered to that type of thing to pull you through something that does seem like a big CGI fest that we've seen in some of the other DC Extended Universe films or whatnot, but they just add so much good stuff. It's so well executed with every filmmaking aspect of those types of things that I think is better done than some of the other ones, because you've got the added extra bit of emotion attached to the character here to really kind of thread you through all those elements of the sequence. And just getting to some of the stuff with the music, I thought the music of the film was really nicely handled. It made me love that theme now. Being incorporated into this film, just getting into some really just awesome sequences, just made me feel something. Again, the emotional beats of the score just pull you in further, whatnot, just like it really does a really nice job of things, that it just, all the little things you needed to have are really there to just kind of pull you into the film into the emotion, into the characters and everything, into the moment. All that stuff's really nicely handled. You know, there might be some other stuff like the beginning of the first act felt like they're kind of rushing things a little bit towards into the story, but they did know enough to pull back and allow the characters to breathe and get those relationships start building up and get the emotion moving forward. So certainly in repeat viewings of the film, I'm certain those qualities will just smooth out because I already know that they're not rushing there. They're just moving all that front-loaded exposition into the film, and then they're going to let the characters flow through really nicely there. So there's a lot of exposition dumps in the film, which is kind of needed when you have a little bit more fantastical elements of, you've got gods and Themyscira and Amazons who are kind of mortal, and main character who is forged out of clay and made alive by striking by Zeus and everything. So yeah, there's going to be exposition dumps in the film, but they're nicely handled. I think those are nicely handled. You know when they're happening, but I think they did a nice job in getting that stuff across and just allowing the story of the film to really just have it be so character-centric. I really like that aspect of the film, that it's not about spectacle. It's about a character, getting attached to this character. You kind of already know where she ends up in a later part when you get her in Batman v Superman or whatnot, where she's a little bit of a different timbre of a character. So you kind of see the progression of her to a certain point, and just all the elements of hope and heart and emotion just flow through so well in this film. I was very well pleased. At a certain point in the film, I just felt like this is kind of on the same level as the first Iron Man, and there's just some moments where just like hit those Richard Donner Superman moments were just kind of punched up a little bit more for me at the end of the film. But in general, it's a very good film, handled solidly with a lot of focus to its story and characters, adding in the emotion and the humanity of everything. So rich, so nicely done, some really great rousing moments. I think this is a wonderful summer movie, a wonderful comic book movie, wonderful superhero film, and a wonderful film for everyone involved in the making of Wonder Woman. So guys and ladies, I'd like to hear what you guys think of Wonder Woman, because I thoroughly enjoy it. A lot of people are thoroughly enjoying it. I'd just like to hear what your best moments, your favorite moments, what things really connected with you so well with this film. If they did, if not, let me know if there was anything that really just didn't quite hit it for you. But in general, comments below, guys. Thumbs up on the video if you enjoyed my review. And hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Definitely appreciate you guys. Stick around. Check out more content. So guys, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.